Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Blatch. I've been uploading videos to YouTube for 10 years now, with my ultimate goal being to make a career in writing. So it came as a surprise to me when I found out that my own grandmother, who went under the pen name Gail Patrick, was a writer herself. She wrote radio plays for the ABC back in the day, and this was one of the ways she was able to make money. Now, she was never able to take home the scripts that she wrote for the ABC because once they were submitted, they were their property. However, one of them she did manage to sneak out, the one she dedicated to my mother, her daughter. It's called The Woman in the Blue Dress. This is it here. It's a story about 4 people finding themselves in the same room together. They're all in different stages of their lives, and over the course of a day, they help each other through their troubles and find some common ground. My grandmother passed this script on to my mother, who passed it on to me, and I thought it would be a cool idea to further immortalize it by reproducing and re-releasing this radio play to the public. So, please enjoy The Woman in the Blue Dress, a radio play by Gail Patrick for Rachel.
What are you doing up there?
I'm nailing the sign onto your veranda post.
Sign? What sign?
It says waiting room.
Waiting room. Waiting room? I don't want a sign that says waiting room on my veranda post.
Why not?
Because I haven't got a waiting room. That's why not.
I can't help that.
Take it down. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard you.
Well then, take it down.
I can't take it down.
Why not?
I'd lose my job.
I don't care if you lose your job. Take it down.
You don't care if I lose my job?
No, I don't.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Take it down!
Do you know how long it took me to get this job? 4 years. That's how long. I was out of work for 4 years.
I'm not interested.
To be more precise, I was on unemployment benefits for 4 years.
Take it down.
If I take this sign down, I'll be back on unemployment benefits again.
I don't want that sign on my veranda post.
You've never been on unemployment benefits, have you? No need to answer. I can tell, just looking at you. Well, take it from me. It's a fate worse than death. Don't smile, I'm not joking.
What's so terrible about unemployment benefits?
Waiting for the check to arrive.
Not another word? I don't want to hear another word.
It was never on time. Sometimes it was a day late. Sometimes 2 or 3. Sometimes it didn't come at all.
Take that sign off my veranda post.
After 4 years, you begin to think you'll never do anything else, except wait for your unemployment check. But then, I got lucky. Yes, it was luck, you know. If I hadn't been passing just as that other workman fell off the ladder and broke his leg, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Take it down.
You don't mean that.
Oh, yes, I do. Now, take that sign down and clear off.
Not likely.
I won't ask you again.
Good.
I'll just take your ladder away.
You can't do that.
Come down.
No.
I said come down.
Ooh, my leg!
Stop making such a fuss.
I've broken my leg!
It's not broken.
Well, then it ought to be. You knocked me off my ladder.
If I had a job like yours, I'd expect to be knocked off my ladder from time to time.
Oh, you would you?
Yes, I would. After all, if you go around nailing signs onto people's veranda posts, you deserve all you get.
Someone has to do it.
They all say that. Now clear off. Go on, clear off.
All right. If that's how you feel.
Oh, just a minute. Come back.
I wish you'd make up your mind.
You've left your sign.
Yes, I know.
Take it down.
I've hurt my leg. You take it down.
Why should I take it down? It's your sign!
It's your veranda post!
If you don't take it down, I'll call the police.
They won't take it down!
Perhaps not, but they'll arrest you.
Oh no, they won't! I'm off!
Come back!
Not this time!
You won't get far with that leg!
Far enough!
Police! Help! Police!
You'll have to do better than that!
Police! Police!
They'll never hear you!
What?
They'll never hear you!
I can't call any louder!
What?
I said I can't call any louder!
I can't hear you! Wait a minute! Now, what did you say?
I said I can't call any louder.
There's always the phone, isn't there?
It's out of order. I'm waiting to have it repaired.
You'll have to go around to the police station. There's nothing else for it.
I suppose I will.
Before you go, I don't suppose you can lend me a walking stick, can you?
Of course I can't lend you a walking stick.
An umbrella would do.
Would it?
Oh yes, an umbrella would do just as well as a walking stick.
I might have an umbrella. Can you wait a minute?
No trouble at all.
I couldn't find a walking stick, but I found an umbrella.
Ta, much appreciated. I'll drop it off when I pick up my ladder.
Make it after 11. The police station is quite a distance.
"61, 63, 65, 67, 69. This ought to be 71, but there's no number. Of course, that doesn't mean to say it isn't 71, although it is on the corner, and it's difficult to know what number a corner house is. Sometimes it goes right on, and sometimes it changes. I'll just cross over and see what the house is on the other corner. Oh dear, what's taking these lights so long to change? I've pressed the button. It says wait. All right, I'll wait. But I won't wait all day. I've got an appointment. What's wrong with it? I'll press it again. That didn't do any good. How am I supposed to get across the road? I won't wait any longer. I'll just put my hand up. It's not my fault. The lights are broken. I can't wait all day. I've got an appointment. 81, 83, 85. That can't be right. What happened to the 70s? 87, 89. Oh, it's no use. I'll have to go back. It must be the house on the other corner. There's probably a number and I just haven't noticed. Oh dear. The lights are still red. Perhaps the button is stuck. Wait, it says. How long is what I'd like to know. It's no use. I'll have to put my hand up again. There's no good getting excited. You ought to watch your blood pressure, especially at your age. People are always in a hurry. 71 Addison Road is what I want. This is Addison Road, all right. And this is 69. So this must be 71. If only there was a number so I could be sure. Now, what's that? It looks like a sign. I can't see what it says. It's too high up. What a stupid thing to do. Nailing a sign on a veranda post so that no one can see. I'll have to use this ladder. Waiting room. I must be in the right place. I'll go inside and wait. If I can get down. Oh dear. I can't get down. Stupid ladder. It's too shaky. I'll have to stay up here until someone comes. It could be worse. It could be raining. The only trouble is I'll be late. I hate being late. At least it's a nice view. I might go and sit in that park for a while after my appointment. What I'd like now is a cup of nice black coffee. The proper stuff they make with the machine. So strong, you could stand your spoon up in it. Are you looking for the waiting room?
Yes?
Have you got an appointment?
Yes, I have.
So have I. Can you hold the ladder while I get down? Thank you. My name is Hargreaves.
My name is Franny Matthews.
Would you mind if I took your arm, Franny?
Of course not.
I'll just get my walking stick. There. Now we can go in together. We're the first here. That's a good sign.
Or a bad one.
At least there are comfortable chairs. Green velvet. I like green velvet.
No magazines.
There's a bottle of brandy.
Too early.
Yes, too early.
There's a typewriter. Just what I need.
Are you a typist, Franny?
No, I'm a waitress.
What a coincidence. I used to be a waitress. Yes, a very comfortable room. Such a lot of things to look at. And so many books.
I don't have time to read books since I started looking for work. I find magazines much more useful.
Oh, look at this wonderful shell, Franny. You don't find shells as big as this on the beach. And just look at these photographs. You don't see a beach like this every day of the week. There's a woman in a blue dress in this photograph who looks very familiar. I'm sure I've seen her before, but I can't think of where.
Let me see. No, I don't know her.
I think that's a camera she's holding.
Perhaps she was photographing shells.
Perhaps she was. When I was a girl, my mother used to take me to stay at the beach every November. It was the only time we spent together. She was always working.
My mother can't swim.
What a pity. It does help. What are you typing?
A reference.
Is a reference necessary?
Oh yes, references are important.
I haven't got one.
I'll type one for you.
Oh, never mind. I suspect I'm too old for a reference. I wonder why she didn't tell me I'd need a reference.
Why, who didn't tell you?
The doctor.
Are you waiting to see the doctor?
Yes. Aren't you?
No, not me. I'm waiting to see the restaurant manager for a job interview.
Well, that explains it then.
Does it?
Oh yes, it explains everything. What time's your appointment, Franny?
10:30.
You're much too early.
I want to make a good impression. I need this job.
I was a waitress for 30 years.
Silver service?
Oh yes, I had my own black and whites.
You've got to have your own black and whites these days. They won't look at you if you haven't got your own black and whites.
This doesn't look like silver service.
You never can tell, especially with these intimate little places.
What made you decide to be a waitress, Franny?
My mother was a waitress.
I see. It must be a family tradition.
It certainly is. My mother has a great talent for waiting, and now she owns a restaurant.
I expect you're ambitious too.
The only ambition I have right now is to keep a job longer than 2 weeks. That's why I'm writing this reference. I never stay in a job long enough to get one.
Oh dear, that is a problem. Can I help?
That's very kind, but I'll leave the suitcase here if I may. It's got my name on it.
Has it?
Yes, take a look.
Marianne Thomas?
That's right.
My name is Alice Hargreaves.
How do you do?
This is Franny Matthews. Franny.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Franny is typing a reference.
What a good idea. I wish I'd thought of that. They always want proof of identity.
Do they?
Oh yes, always.
I haven't got proof of identity.
Haven't you got a pension card?
Not with me, no.
What about a photograph?
There's a photograph of a woman in a blue dress on the mantelpiece.
That's no good. She's holding a camera.
So she is.
And besides, my dress is purple. I wonder why she didn't tell me I'd need proof of identity.
Why, who didn't tell you?
The doctor.
Are you waiting to see the doctor?
Yes, aren't you?
No, not me. I'm waiting for a train.
What a pity. I was hoping you were waiting for the doctor. You see, I haven't been here before, and it's always worrying. Going to a new doctor.
Oh, I can't help you, I'm afraid.
That's what the last one said to me. But I won't give up. Have you finished, Franny?
No, not yet. I think I've left out a word. I think I'll have to start again.
That happens to me constantly.
Oh, are you a typist?
No, I'm a waitress.
I was a waitress for 30 years.
I've been a waitress for 20 years, and I'm on my vacation.
Where are you going?
To the beach. I go to the beach every November.
What about your mother?
What about her?
Is she a waitress too?
Yes, she is, as a matter of fact. How did you know?
Franny's mother is a waitress.
What a coincidence.
And Franny is also a waitress. Aren't you, Franny? Franny,
What is it?
you're a waitress too, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a waitress.
Marianne is a waitress too.
Are you? Have you come about the job?
No, I have a job. I'm on vacation. I go to the beach every July.
You said that you go to the beach every November.
And so I do.
How many vacations do you take each year?
At the last count, it was 12.
I don't understand. When do you...
I don't. Well, at least I haven't for the last year. Although once I got as far as changing into my uniform and going to stand outside the restaurant. But then I couldn't go in, and a few hours later I was waiting for the train back to the beach. But I try. No one can say I don't try.
No, of course not.
There doesn't seem to be a trolley.
There doesn't, does there?
I always have trouble finding a trolley for my suitcase.
Do you?
Yes. Don't you?
No, I can't say that I do.
And it's not always easy to find the luggage room either, is it?
I suppose not.
This is the luggage room, isn't it?
No, this is the waiting room.
That explains it then.
Does it?
Oh yes, that explains everything. Do you know where the luggage room is?
I don't think there is one.
There must be a luggage room.
Has there always been one before?
Yes, always.
Well then, there's nothing to worry about, is there?
I suppose not. You'd think they'd have a sign, wouldn't you?
A sign?
To say where the luggage is?
They have a sign to say where the waiting room is, but it's very difficult to see.
I've finished my reference. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, yes, please.
Certainly.
Well then, why don't you both sit down and take the weight off of your feet?
Come and sit next to me, Marianne.
Are you ready?
Ready.
To whom it may concern. From the beginning, my mother set a good example. Every time I opened my mouth, she filled it, and even when I was older, I had no complaints. The food was always first class, and the presentation impeccable. It didn't take long for me to find my feet in the profession, and for this, I have no one to thank but my mother.
Bravo!
Bravo!
Is this the waiting room?
Yes, this is the waiting room.
Has she arrived yet? Is
Watch
she...
out!
Ah!
Too late.
Silly fool. He should have looked where he was going.
Pity he didn't come earlier. He could have heard your reference, Franny.
And an excellent reference, if I may say so.
Thank you. I only hope it does the trick.
Ow.
What I don't understand is how he came to fall over your suitcase, Marianne. It's a very large suitcase, not the sort of suitcase people fall over.
Ow.
I've tried using a smaller one, but it won't hold the things I need.
And it's not as though you didn't have your name on it.
There's no mistaking the name. I made sure of that. Are you all right?
He's all right.
He's got his eyes open.
Let's help him up.
You and Marianne hold him, Franny, while I dust him down. There now. Sit him over there.
He looks good as new.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm alright.
I told you he was all right.
What happened?
You fell over my suitcase.
Yes. Now I remember.
Would you like something to drink?
I'd like a brandy.
That's a good idea. Make that too, Franny.
What about you, Marianne?
No thanks, Franny. I'll get something on the train.
What train?
Aren't you waiting for a train?
No.
I suppose you're waiting to see the doctor. Are you a regular patient?
I'm not a patient.
Pity. Although with that lump on your head...
Then you must be waiting to see the manager for a job interview.
No. I'm waiting for a friend. Is she here?
Perhaps. What's her name?
I don't know her name. but I know she's wearing a blue dress.
Oh, I saw a woman in a blue dress waiting for a bus this morning.
Did she ask for Alexander Braithwaite?
No.
In that case, it wasn't her.
When was the first time you saw her, Alexander?
Last Tuesday.
Was she wearing a blue dress?
Of course.
What about the last time you saw her?
That was yesterday.
And was she wearing a blue dress?
She always wears a blue dress.
You could be in trouble if she wears a black dress or a purple dress.
Who are you talking about?
The woman in the blue dress.
Would you know her if she was wearing a black dress?
I'd know her anywhere.
It's easy to mistake blue for black. People have mistaken my dress for black on many occasions.
I'd never mistake your dress for black, Alice. Although I could mistake it for purple.
I'd say that your dress is closer to purple than mine, Marianne.
What about my dress?
Turquoise.
Lilac
Definitely
without a doubt.
turquoise.
The color is blue.
I think we need another clue, Alexander.
What does your friend look like, Alexander?
Is she a young woman, Alexander?
She looks like a young woman.
What do you consider to be young?
No more than 25.
I'm 68.
I'm 47.
I'm 25.
And you're wearing a blue dress.
I've never seen you before in my life.
That settles it then.
I wouldn't say so. Some women are young at 35.
Not many.
I was.
So you consider 35 to be young?
Yes. Don't you?
Younger than 68 at least.
But you don't look 68, Alice. Does she, Marianne?
Oh, no, you don't look 68, Alice.
You're only as old as you feel. Isn't that what they say?
Yes, that's what they say.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
My mother never told anyone how old she was.
My mother was the same before she died. She used to say to me, don't tell them how old you are. It worried her that she was getting on.
None of us are as young as we used to be.
Franny is.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not as young as all that.
How old are you, Alexander?
I just wish someone had told me what it was like to wake up one morning and find you were old. It's not much fun, believe me.
Oh, it doesn't happen that quickly, does it?
Oh, yes, it does. One day I was looking at aged people in the street and thinking, tish, tish, isn't it sad? And the next day, someone was looking at me. It took me by surprise. I wasn't ready. I don't think I've really got over it.
I suppose the only comfort is that it happens to everyone.
That's what the last doctor said.
It happens to everyone, Miss Hargreaves.
It's never happened to me before, Doctor.
You're getting old, Miss Hargreaves.
I know that. I want you to do something about it.
I'll do what I can. What are your symptoms?
I feel breathless and lightheaded.
When do you feel breathless and lightheaded?
When I look out of the window in the morning.
Every morning.
Yes, every morning.
Is the window open?
It is in the end.
In the end?
After I've used the hammer, the screwdriver and 2 kitchen knives, it took me 20 minutes this morning, longer than usual.
Was that necessary?
Oh yes, it always sticks.
How many windows do you have in your bedroom, Miss Hargreaves?
2.
Have you tried opening the other one?
Of course not. It faces east.
What difference does that make?
I get a nice breeze through the one that faces south.
The eastern window might be easier to open.
What good is that if I don't get a nice breeze?
At least you wouldn't feel breathless and lightheaded.
I wouldn't get a nice breeze either. And that's why I opened the window in the first place.
Please yourself.
But I can't please myself. That's the trouble. And I just want to go on a little longer. I want to go on doing the things I normally do. After a lifetime of doing what I normally do, I don't want to give it up.
It happens to everyone, I'm afraid, Miss Hargreaves.
Yes, I know, you keep saying that, but can you do something about it?
Well, you did say that you'd cut your arm. I can certainly do something about that. Let me see it. Yes, that is nasty. It will probably need a stitch or 2. Tell me, how did this happen?
I was looking in the mirror.
Looking in the mirror?
Yes.
You cut your arm when you were looking in the mirror?
Not exactly.
What happened exactly?
I cut it after.
After what?
After I broke it.
After you broke?
The mirror. Well, that is, I didn't break it. The chair broke it.
The chair broke the mirror?
Yes.
You cut your arm after you broke the mirror with the chair?
Yes, you could say that.
Roll your sleeve up, please, Miss Hargreaves.
Why should I have to be shaky on my legs? Why should I have to be breathless and lightheaded? And I don't want to look like this. I don't.
Well, if it's any comfort, I think you look very well preserved.
Yes, I know. That's the way I looked in the mirror. preserved.
And so you...
I don't want to look preserved. I want to look the way I used to look. I don't want to be all shriveled up with blotches.
It happens to...
That's why I always wear a dress with long sleeves. Why I always wear gloves. Look, just look at my hands.
That's only...
I know what it is. The other doctor told me. It's blood. Blood under the skin. A blood vessel bursts and blood comes out under the skin. I've got them on my legs too. You see, I don't know where the next one will appear, when more blood vessels will burst. I suppose if enough of them burst, I'll be black all over.
If you break any more mirrors, you may not have enough blood left to worry about.
This is no time for jokes. What about my blotches?
There's nothing I can do, Miss Hargreaves.
Why not?
Keep your arms still, Miss Hargreaves.
Why can't you do something?
You're an old woman, Miss Hargreaves.
Is that what she said?
Yes, that's what she said.
Well then, if I were you...
Yes?
If I were you...
Go on.
I'd find something more suitable.
I don't know.
Come on, Alice. Being an old woman? What kind of life is that?
No life at all.
Then choose something else.
What else?
A typist! You could be a typist!
That's a good idea. I'll give you lessons, Alice. My mother gave me lessons, and before I knew it, I could do 45 words per minute.
I don't think so.
Well, then you could be a traveler, like me. We could see the world together.
Perhaps.
Or you could be a restaurant owner, like my mother. After all your experience as a waitress, you'd be a natural.
It's a possibility.
There are lots of possibilities. Choose one.
I'll think about it.
Take your time. But then again, if you're coming with me, you've only got 20 minutes.
Is she here yet?
Who?
The woman in the blue dress.
No, not yet.
She said she'd wait for me.
In that case, I'm sure she'll be here soon.
I must see her again. You know how it is.
I can't say that I do.
Now that I've seen her, I must see her again.
Where did you first see her?
In the Boulevard restaurant. She was talking to a woman in a white hat.
Is that all?
No, she gave the woman a cup of chocolate.
That's a funny thing to do.
Then she wrote a note on a small pad and gave that to the woman in the white hat too.
Did she give you a note?
No, she didn't. Although she handed out notes to at least 5 other people.
Now I understand. You want to see the woman in the blue dress again so that she can give you one of her notes.
No, that's not it.
Let me guess. You want to see the woman in the blue dress again so that you can get a cup of chocolate.
What nonsense!
Oh well, I suppose it's up to me. I know. It's not the woman in the blue dress you want to see at all. It's the woman in the white hat.
No!
There's no need to lose your temper, Alexander. If you go around saying stupid things like, I must see the woman in the blue dress again, people are bound to jump to the wrong conclusions.
Perhaps he needs another glass of brandy.
Perhaps I do.
Make that too, Franny.
What about you, Marianne?
No, thank you, dear. I'll get something on the train.
And so will I.
Does that mean you've decided to be a traveler, Alice?
Just for the present, Marianne. I need some peace and quiet just to consider all the possibilities. And I can't think of a better place to go than the beach.
Good, that's settled then.
Here's your brandy, Alexander.
Thank you, Franny.
And here's yours, Alice.
Thank you, Franny.
Alice has decided to catch the train with me, Franny.
What a good idea. If I don't get this job, I might just catch the train too.
It'll be here soon. I must look for a luggage trolley. Have you seen any, Franny?
No, I haven't.
What about you, Alice?
Not a sign.
Have you seen any luggage trolleys, Alexander? Alexander?
He's asleep again. Some people can't hold their brandy.
There are never enough trolleys to go around. Can someone watch my suitcase?
I'll watch it, Marianne.
Thank you, Franny. The last time I went to find a luggage trolley and left my suitcase, it disappeared. Have you taken my suitcase?
I beg your pardon?
My suitcase has disappeared.
Well, I haven't taken it.
It had my ticket and my money.
That's not my fault, is it?
And you haven't taken it?
No, I haven't taken it.
I left it right here while I went to find a trolley. And now it's gone.
Well, I didn't see a thing.
Well, you must have seen something.
I tell you, I didn't.
Didn't you see me leave my suitcase here?
No, I didn't see you leave it here.
Perhaps someone else saw me leave it here.
Perhaps they did. Why don't you ask that man sitting on the other end of the seat?
Perhaps I will. Excuse me, did you see me leave my suitcase here?
No, I didn't see you leave your suitcase here.
But I left it right here, just 5 minutes ago.
Well, it's not here now,
No, it isn't.
and neither was I 5 minutes ago.
That could be why you didn't see me leave my suitcase here.
Yes, that might be it.
He said he didn't see me leave my suitcase here.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he did.
I wouldn't trust him.
Wouldn't you? Why not?
Because if he's sitting on the other end of the seat, he must have seen you leave your suitcase here. What else did he say?
He said he wasn't here 5 minutes ago.
Ooh, what a liar! He was here 5 minutes ago because I saw him sit down and take out his newspaper.
But you didn't see me leave my suitcase here.
No, I didn't. But that could be because I was watching him read his newspaper.
Yes, that could be it.
What I'd like to know is why he lied about it. Unless
he has something to hide.
Yes.
My suitcase?
It's a possibility.
No, it's not. Not if you were watching him read his newspaper. You would have seen him take it.
But I did see him. I saw him take a suitcase to the luggage room. Of course, I didn't know it was yours.
When did you see him do that?
About 5 minutes ago. He suddenly folded up his newspaper and put it under his arm. Then he picked up the suitcase and took it to the luggage room. A woman in a blue dress wrote a note on a small notepad and gave it to him in exchange for the suitcase. Then he returned to his seat, sat down, unfolded his newspaper, and began to read again.
What kind of suitcase did he give to the woman in the blue dress?
A large suitcase.
My suitcase was a large suitcase. I've tried using a smaller one, but it won't hold all I need.
I prefer a large suitcase myself.
What color was the large suitcase?
It was brown.
My suitcase was a large brown suitcase. And not only that, it had my name on it.
Well, then your worries are over. Now you know that the man sitting on the other end of the seat took your large brown suitcase with your name on it.
I must get it back.
How will you do that?
There's only one way. I'll have to retrieve it with the note from the woman in the blue dress.
But you haven't got the note from the woman in the blue dress. He has.
Well, he'll have to give it to me.
Fat chance.
Well, he'll have to give it to me if I ask for it.
Oh, no, he won't. He'll hang on to it like grim death. He's the sort to make life difficult if he can.
Why should he refuse a perfectly reasonable request?
Why should he take your suitcase at all? That wasn't reasonable, was it?
No, but it doesn't mean that he can't be reasonable. Or that he won't be reasonable. In fact, I feel quite optimistic that he will be reasonable.
All right, go ahead. Ask him for the note. But don't say I didn't warn you.
I beg your pardon.
Certainly.
Will you give me the note from the woman in the blue dress?
That sounds like a perfectly reasonable request. Alright, here you are.
Thank you.
No trouble at all.
I got it! I got it!
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I must go. My train leaves in 5 minutes.
Don't forget your trolley.
I won't! Goodbye!
Did you get your suitcase?
Yes, but I almost missed my train.
What about the woman in the blue dress?
Oh, she was very helpful. I pushed the trolley and she ran ahead to ask the conductor to hold the train. If it wasn't for the woman in the blue dress...
Is someone talking about the woman in the blue dress? Is she here yet?
No, not yet.
I only hope you know her when you see her again, Alexander.
If it's love, I'll know her when I see her again.
What do you mean by that, Alexander?
It's hard to say.
What has love got to do with it, Alice?
Don't ask me. Ask Alexander.
What has love got to do with it, Alexander?
You'll find out if you wait long enough, Franny.
I want to know now.
And what if you did know? What then?
It would explain a lot of things.
It would explain nothing.
Nothing at all.
Love explains everything!
I only hope this woman in the blue dress knows what she's in for.
What do you mean by that, Alice?
It's hard to say.
I want to know.
Don't ask me. Ask Alexander.
Does the woman in the blue dress know what she's in for, Alexander?
Of course she does, Franny. Otherwise, she wouldn't wait for me.
It would be too bad if she was expecting everything and got nothing.
You've got to tell her that it's love, Alexander. You could even say that it was love at first sight.
He couldn't say that.
Why not?
Because she wouldn't believe him.
Of course she would.
She wouldn't, I tell you.
Who would believe a thing like that?
Yes, who would believe a thing like that?
It's absurd.
Absolutely.
Laughable.
Without a doubt.
It's the funniest thing I ever heard of.
Me too.
Then we agree.
Yes, we do. Oh dear. Get him another brandy. And another one for me too, Franny dear.
What about you, Marianne?
No thanks, Franny. I'll get something on the train.
Who would have thought it would come to this?
Don't cry, Alexander.
It's all over.
She might turn up. Then again, she might not.
Here's your brandy. Alexander, here's your brandy.
Thank you, Franny.
And here's your brandy, Alice.
Thank you, Franny. You're a very good waitress. You have a natural talent, doesn't she, Marianne?
Without a doubt.
Would you like to see my resume?
Yes, I would.
So would I.
It's in my bag. Here it is. Would you like to see my resume too, Alexander?
Show us your resume, Franny.
Before I do, I think I should explain that it's not finished yet. I work on it every night. Of course, it wasn't like that in the beginning. In the beginning, I didn't want to work on my resume at all. I didn't want to think about leaving my mother. And she felt the same way. "I'll never leave you, Franny," she would say, and kiss me. "I'll never leave you either," I would say, and we'd embrace. Those were the days, when we only had each other and wanted nothing else. But now I have my resume, and with luck, it will help me to find a career that is satisfactory. After all, I can't make a career out of loving my mother, can I?
It would be difficult.
And painful.
Better to choose something else.
That too is difficult and painful, as you will see from my resume.
Come and sit beside me, Marianne. We can look at it together.
Is this your first job, Franny?
Yes. Arthur's Cafe.
I asked for tea and you gave me coffee.
I'm sorry, sir.
I can't drink coffee. It gives me heartburn.
Does it, sir?
It certainly does. I want black tea with a slice of lemon.
I'll get it for you right away, sir.
I ought to complain to the manager. But I'm willing to make allowances.
Thank you, sir.
What are you doing tonight, honey?
My name's not Honey. My name's Franny.
I don't care what your name is. I want to know what you're doing tonight.
Tonight. Oh, let me see. Tonight, I'm going to a concert. And after that, I think I'll take a walk down by the river. It will help clear my head before I return home to work on my resume, which is never to my satisfaction.
Didn't you understand me, honey?
My name's not Honey.
I asked you what you were doing tonight.
My name's Franny.
What are you doing tonight, Franny?
Well, after I finish my work on my resume, I'll make some tea and take it into my mother, who always waits up for me. Then we'll kiss and she'll put her arms around me and then I'll go to bed.
Do you want to give me a kiss, honey?
No, I don't want to give you a kiss.
I'll complain to the manager.
You're wasting your time. He won't give you a kiss either.
You're not much of a waitress.
This is my first job, sir.
What about your mother?
She's retired now, sir.
Didn't she teach you anything?
My mother taught me all I know.
Do you know what I think, honey? I think your mother is a dumb fuck.
You're wrong!
I think she knows nothing about being a waitress, and neither do you.
Wrong again!
I think you need a lesson.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't have time for a lesson. My shift finishes in 10 minutes and I have to fold the serviettes before I go.
Go? Go where?
I told you where.
What kind of a waitress are you?
I don't know, sir. I haven't thought about it.
Perhaps the manager will know.
It's a possibility. Although I think my mother would have a better idea. And of course, if you asked me, this time next year, I'd be able to tell you myself.
I want to see the manager.
I'm the manager, sir. Is there a problem?
Yes. This waitress gave me coffee when I asked for tea. I can't drink coffee, it gives me heartburn. That's why I ordered tea with a slice of lemon. And not only that, but she's going to a concert tonight before she takes a walk by the river. Then she's going home to work on her resume before she kisses her mother goodnight. What I'd like to know is, why do you employ someone like this who doesn't know anything about being a waitress and won't give me a kiss?
Her resume was very impressive.
I'm not surprised. Her mother probably wrote it.
I'm sorry she isn't satisfactory, sir.
Well then, what are you going to do about it?
What do you suggest, sir?
I suggest you dismiss her immediately.
Certainly, sir.
Do you mean that?
Yes, of course I do.
I won't go!
You have to go. You don't work here anymore.
Ha! That will teach you.
I don't have to work here. I can stay just the same. It's a public place.
If you don't go, I'll call the police.
Ha ha! That will also teach you.
Go ahead. Call the police. I've got a thing or two to tell them.
What have you got to tell them?
That I'm a customer, and you won't serve me.
You're not a customer.
Yes, I am.
But you didn't order anything. And besides, I employed you as a waitress.
I can be a customer or a waitress.
Don't believe her.
I don't. I don't believe a word of it.
The police will believe me.
Oh, no, they won't. You can't change from a waitress into a customer at the drop of a hat.
Who says I can't?
I do.
Since when does a manager tell a customer what to do?
Since she's a waitress.
But I'm not a waitress now. I'm a customer.
I never met a waitress who was a customer yet.
There's always a first time.
Once a waitress, always a waitress.
Why don't you suck your lemon, sir?
I knew you were a waitress as soon as I looked at you.
Take it from me, sir. Behind every waitress's smiling face is a customer.
You didn't smile at me. Not once. Not a smile did you give.
The trouble with some waitresses is that they think they can be customers whenever they like.
Waitresses please themselves. And why shouldn't they?
You didn't please me, even though I don't take much pleasing. Not just a tea, but a pat on the cheek. A kind word would have been enough.
Waitresses ought to know their place.
Waitresses know more than their place.
You didn't know your place when you refused to give me a kiss. Even my mother would have given me a kiss.
I'm not your mother. I'm a customer.
Oh, don't be like that, honey. Let's start again.
I told you my name's not Honey.
Collect your wages and get out of here.
Not until I've had a black coffee and an apple pie with cream.
Nothing doing.
In that case, I'll be sitting at table number 3. Let me know when my order is ready.
My mother would never give me a second chance either. She had no heart.
Get out of here.
Go easy on the cream.
Out. Get out.
Make the coffee strong. Strong enough to stand the spoon up.
What a wonderful resume.
Very exciting. I can't wait for the next installment.
It's the best I've read.
Thank you, thank you. You're very kind. My mother likes it too.
Out! Everybody out!
I beg your pardon.
You heard what I said.
Who are you?
Who do you think I am?
Well, you sound like a restaurant manager, but you don't look like one.
I think you must be the doctor, but you don't sound like one.
You can't be the luggage room attendant. She always says, hold the train.
I'll tell you who I am. I'm Eva Brown, the owner of this house, and I want you all to leave.
But this is a waiting room.
This is not a waiting room.
The sign says waiting room.
It's a mistake.
Then why don't you take it down?
I've been at the police station, that's why.
You can't take the sign down yet. I'm waiting for the restaurant manager.
And I'm waiting for a train.
And I'm waiting for a doctor. Although, I am going to the beach to consider other possibilities.
Well, you'll all have to wait somewhere else.
It's too late for that.
Much too late.
You're here! At last you're here! I thought I'd have to wait forever!
Who are you?
I'm Alexander Braithwaite, and you're the woman in the blue dress.
What's he talking about?
Don't ask me, ask him.
What are you talking about?
You promised to wait for me,
I did no such thing!
and I promised to wait for you.
You're off your head!
And now at last we're together.
Get out of my house!
I'll never leave you.
That's what you think.
We were meant for each other.
Wrong!
It was love at first sight.
Wrong again.
Now that we're together, we'll never be apart.
We'll never be together, and we'll always be apart.
What? What was that you said?
I said, we'll never be together, and we'll always be apart.
That's not how it goes.
Oh, yes, it is. I've got it in black and white. Here, take a look at this.
The woman in the blue dress, whose name was Eva Brown, told Alexander Braithwaite to fuck off. I'm writing a book, she said, and I don't have time to spend with you. My work comes first. Of course it hasn't always been like that, she said. Once I would have done anything to avoid sitting at my desk. The thought of covering those blank pages with words filled me with horror. It was the danger that put me off, she said. The risk of not being able to find the right words. Just picking up a pen used to set my teeth chattering and my knees knocking, she said, and I thought I'd never write again. But that's all over and done with now, at least for the present. And when I sit down at my typewriter, she said, I know I'm on a lucky streak. So fuck off, Alexander Braithwaite, she said, and do it now.
I hope that makes everything clear.
You won't get away with it, you know. I'll be back.
Will he come back?
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Listen, I can hear the train coming.
Just in the nick of time.
I don't suppose you'd have a luggage trolley I could borrow, Eva?
I've got a laundry trolley.
Yes, that will do the trick.
Here's the trolley.
Thank you so much.
I'll hold it while you put the suitcase on, Marianne.
And I'll open the door. Look, Ava, There's a policeman taking a sign off your veranda post.
Thank goodness for that.
Are you coming with us, Franny?
Why not? I've missed the restaurant manager, haven't I?
We'll have to hurry.
Goodbye. Goodbye. As the train pulled away, Eva waved goodbye, then, at last, went back into the house and closed the door. She sighed and looked around the empty room. Her gaze rested on the typewriter. She smiled and walked toward it.
Gail Patrick passed away in 2009, but I believe that if she was able to watch this new iteration of her play and see how much hard work had been put in from all of us, she would be completely uninterested and instead insist all she asked for was a black coffee so strong you can stand the spoon up in it, which it turns out was how she actually liked her coffee. She was also a big fan of Green Velvet. Thanks for listening.